Greetings everyone, Agion here with another Company Heroes 2 replay. Now with the new 64-bit patch, I should be able to improve my recordings. And let's get started. This is more or less a test replay, I guess, because I changed just some of my OBS settings. When don't I? It always feels like it's the same, it always feels like it's not exactly great quality, but let's give it a try. So on the north side as the OKW player, we have Stormless. So on the south side as the Red Soviets, we have Doc Holliday. Or Holliday, there's two L's. And again, I just tested it out and I'm already starting to lose frames and I have no idea why. I swear, it's mostly just this game though that likes to drop frames randomly and somehow affects OBS due to encoding lag. I don't know. But you got a Shroom Pioneers in such a mass these combat engineers will have significant amount of trouble versus Shroom Pioneers. This is a great position for the Shroom Pioneers. Be able to bully these combat engineers, so calling forced to retreat. We do got a second squad of conscripts out. We do got a support weapon company out on the field. So perhaps this next unit will be the Maxim. Spawn on the north side, and the north side we do have the Kubelwagen. Fuel being munitions being captured on up. Kubelwagen is probably going to capture the right side of the map. Get your own munis. Conscripts are now out in the field. The combat engineers didn't do a whole lot of damage, so it can still really go either way. If the conscripts can just maintain max range, they'll be in a good position. He might be going for a Maxim. He does have enough manpower for another conscript squad. He's going to Ura 4. He's trying to get inside this building. Depending on the positioning of the Shroom Pioneers, the Shroom Pioneers could force out the conscript. Over here, there is 4 windows, so yeah, all sides have at least 3 windows. 4 on the side, 3 in the other sides. So it's a good building for the conscripts, but now the Shroom Pioneers are going to sit inside this building. There is some good heavy cover here, but it's a bit close to the house. And it's a bit iffy. It could go. This engagement could go either way. The conscripts are quite wounded. Conscripts do also drop a model there. The Shroom Pioneers do drop a model. That is more important. And we do also have Volksgrenadiers in the building over here and forcing back the conscripts. But we do got another squad of conscripts here. This squad of Shroom Pioneers is very wounded. Perhaps going eye for this over here, but perhaps standing and fighting is actually a bit better because so they don't have the reduced accuracy of moving. Now the Volksgrenadier here. Conscripts are in the building. The conscripts are quite wounded. 3 windows, no windows on this side firing. So it is a good spot for the Volksgrenadier, but he doesn't need to stay in that position. He can draw them out by backing off. Actually, he's going straight for the cutoff point. So he's going to try to deny that fuel, but you got to reinforce some conscripts here. He has no max in 3 squads of conscripts, and he does force back the Volksgrenadier. Over on the far side, we do got the combat engineers garrisoning it up and de-garrisoning that building. There is 3 windows on this side, so it is a good building for the combat engineers. And the Kubelwagen is just going to stay back and just keep away all the opposition.
This is our sector.
Kubelwagen has that point secured. Combat engineers inside this building. Volksgrenadier should be able to displace them, no problem. No AP grenades. If you have Molotovs research, building build up some sandbags there. Not exactly a great time to start building, but the Kubelwagen has taken a bit of damage. If you got Maxim out on the field, Maxim looks like eyeing it for his own munitions point based on what I see in the map. And the Shroom Pioneers are now fully reinforced. We do have a medical crate here.
Location set. Begin conversion.
And we may see an incendiary grenade into this building. The Maxim is here and incinerate immediately. He's still setting on up. He's going to be... Looks like he's unsetting up now and should be backing up the building momentarily. There we go. And the Volksgrenadier squad could jump inside the building. The flame's not affecting any windows that he will be utilizing. We got the Shroom Pioneers and the Kubelwagen engaging these conscripts. Conscripts is still hitting the Kubelwagen. He needs a retarget. He may have forgot about it. He has retargeted now, but his force on back sustained too much damage. Do we see medics for the Soviet player? No, he has to be getting it now, but a little bit too late. He will not be able to heal up these wounded conscript squads. In fact, there's another really wounded conscript squad here. He should eye retreating sooner rather than later of some of these squads, but the medic's going to be overtaxed, that's for sure.
Okay, that's the last one. Supply lines have been cut.
Medics are now out. Do see some healing out, but he's pretty far away from healing out everything. This squad has retreated back fully. Assuming he doesn't drop any models, he will save his manpower, but he's going to be knocked out for a bit of time while the medics do the work. Volksgrenadier is now fully suppressed and forced on back. You got conscripts here throwing out a Molotov, does not dodge in time, taking severe amounts of losses there. And we got the Volksgrenadier squad inside this building now. We do got MG34 out on the field. Wagen is still alive. Oh, we do have some MP40s being built. We do have the Fear Sturm Doctrine being locked on in. So we may see a Flame Hetzler. We may see some other items. I could see a flamethrower on the Sturm Pioneer squad, but he may want to get the support package. Minesweepers is still very important against when playing against Soviets because they can spam up mines no problem.
Shock troops can now be used to crush the enemy.
Spots the MG34 the hard way. That combat engineer squad needs to fall back sooner rather than later. He is very much wounded. Super wounded now. We also got the Doctrine lock-in of terror tactics. Holy crap, retreat. There's no usage for combat. He may get one flame burst and may get wiped out in return. That's it. In fact, he lost a model. He may still lose his entire squad. That was... I can't say that was lucky or unlucky. That squad was very wounded, but he was doing a full retreat of 4 models. In fact, oh no, that's hitting that building. MP40s now making their way forward. We do have one squad of Volksgrenadier had the STG upgrade, not the MP40. The STG is probably meant there for the incendiary grenades, because the frag grenade, ooh, nice stun grenade by the Sturm Pioneers, backs out 3 of its members still alive. We do got the battle group HQ back at home, so we do have healing. And now some Obersatzen coming on out.
Enemy attacking!
Maxim versus MG34. There is some light cover here, and there's questionable heavy cover here. Kuwagen's making its way forward. Overall, some great view control by the OKW player. Both sides are suppressed. This engagement could go on for quite some time.
Contact! Contact! Unit pin!
And the MG34 does get pinned first. And when it gets pinned, it really does reduce its rate of fire. He could potentially flank the Maxim. There's some good opportunities to throw a frag and wipe out that Maxim quite easily. Conscripts now rushing on forward. And no frag grenade. Could see some good damage there. Has recovered the suppression. And the Maxim does escape. Over here, this conscript squad could potentially go down. Oops, looks like dropped some frames. Stun grenade is out, and he does retreat.
The enemy has taken our supply sector. A sector has been cut off.
MG34 has reset on up. Is going to be suppressing the shock troops, but they do throw a smoke grenade.
Defensive line.
This squad of Volksgrenadier are making their way forward. He is going to throw a frag in time. And And it is good. And no suppression just yet, so this squad could easily go down. But there are some conscripts here. Does get suppressed there. It is relatively safe to retreat now. And the suppression will make it so the conscripts can re-engage quite easily. Shock troops, will get a wipe on some Volksgrenadier, and that was the STG squad. He still has a squad of Oberstlossen, so it is a loss, but not a huge loss at this point, I would say. Oberstlossen still being very effective. I would actually disagree with that building of Volksgrenadier squad. I would probably go for another squad of Oberstlossen, honestly. Oberstlossen just has higher damage output. Shock troops not shooting that entire time, interestingly enough, but I don't think he would.
The enemy is taking what
Could
we
have
have
potentially
secured.
got a squad wipe, but it's unlikely. I also can't really say.
We need to re-establish our supply lines.
Achtung! Unter Beschuss! Flamethrower!
Getting some wire being set on down. Very nice. Oh, I saw that. Was it talking about mine?
Engineer squad.
Oh, I was confused. Yeah, it was wire, not mines. We got the fresh squad of Volksgrenadier out on the field. Will we go for MP4s? Will we go for STGs? Or will we just keep them unupgraded? We do have another squad of Volksgrenadier moving forward, but they're getting ripped apart at range. Heavy cover being very useful and not even closing the gap, but decides to fall on back. MG34, Kugelwagen, and Oberstlossen are in the center of the map. Maxim is here as well. Not a great angle from Maxim, honestly.
AT gun is ready for combat.
And the Oberstlossen getting ripped apart by that flamethrower.
Taking fire!
Ooh, there's a landmine right there in front of the Maxim, which can be questionable because a random explosion could do some serious damage to
Propaganda
the
is
Maxim.
available to be dropped on the fascisti.
We do got the Storm Pioneers are flanking, but he will throw a stun. Oh,
Our
over here.
territory is falling into enemy
Throwing a
hands.
stun on weapon teams, I don't think it actually disables the weapon itself, but it was throwing against the infantry.
Supply lines have been cut.
Oh, what was that? We do got a Zis gun destroying the sandbags. Very nice. We do have the Flamer squad now moving on forward. Should be able to displace these Volksgrenadiers no problem. Shock troops are coming to support. May see a frag grenade.
Points stand between us and defeat.
Waiting for your command!
MG34 and Maxim fighting, but I think the Maxim does have access to its heavy cover, though the gunner is not in heavy cover. And this barrage should be able to displace the MG34 no problem. Over here, we got Molotov in the building, but the Oberstlossen are not in the building. And we do have the Flame Hetzler out.
Run, comrades! Run!
Will we see a Jagdpanzer to go along with it?
We are losing
Or no?
territory.
On the left side, we do have the Volksgrenadier engaging the Sturm Pioneers and that stun grenade stunning the Volksgrenadier actually saved the shock troops.
AT grenades now available.
Gotta
to
be
all
careful of those stun
conscripts.
grenades. You may just stun your own units.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Sis gun engaging the Hetzler. And we do have a pretty punched up unit here. There is a mine here, and there is a mine there as well. This mine's going to be very good. Getting 4 models and suppressing those squads. On the Zis gun to get a bit of breathing room from the infantry. And now with the conscripts running forward, there could potentially be a snare. AT grenades are researched. Volksgrenadiers are forced on back.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Yeah? We are ready for this. Hold the advance! Stay strong, comrades! Ready!
The Volksgrenadier squad here is got the flamethrower. Looks like the force fire ground is getting good damage on one of the conscript squads. Do have a Molotov there. Didn't cancel it in time, and both fuel points are secured by the OKW player. Conscripts are getting ripped apart by the Oberstdotson. Oberstdotson has a very favorable engagement right there.
We serve!
There is a mix of heavy and light cover. And looks like the conscripts are just at the maximum range of the enemies.
The enemy is
But the
taking
flame
what we
has
have
will
secured.
force them away. No problem. Molotov is thrown, does singe the Sturm Pioneers a little
Sector is
bit,
at risk.
they're forced on back. Volksgrenadier coming in the reinforced position. The Sturm Pioneer squad may want to fall back, get healed up, and then repair the Flame
Enemy
Hetzler.
forces are neutralizing a sector.
Shock troops now making their way forward. These Volksgrenadier have no chance of able to stop them. There is a cannon whipper here. Is there a frag? Yeah, there was a frag. I didn't see those Volks moving in. Yeah. Nice stun grenade, which will give the Sturm Pioneers some time to deal some extra damage. They're not in a good position. They're very close to being wiped themselves. Looks like the shock troops will manage to win on out. Zis barrage coming on in. Getting some great hits on the MG34. Maximum retarget towards the Oberstdotson is nipping out damage. Molotov gets thrown on out on the Volksgrenadier squad, getting left out to try. Volks over here to the shock troops. Yeah, the shock troops did manage to escape on out. That frag grenade being quite deadly.
Contact with enemy infantry. Mortar team has arrived.
We do got a Soviet mortar out on the field, and that was a good frag. But they did a lot of AoE damage. The Soviet mortar is a bit of an interesting option at this point in the game. It's probably primarily meant for that MG34. Plus now there's 2 Vikennwerfers. It's unknown whether or not if he knows about both of them. This one has 0 kills, doesn't have prioritized fire, so he probably does not know about that one. This one I'm pretty sure he does know about.
MG squad awaiting
That could potentially
orders.
help displace those support weapons.
Engineer standing by. We've taken the territory.
The OKW player has quite a bit of fuel. He may be saving up for a Panther.
We are losing territory.
The Soviet player has not a huge fuel reserve. The best thing he probably can get is probably an Su-85. He must know he's going to be fighting against heavy armor relatively soon. So I would say an Su-85 may be the best option, not the KV-8. As nice as the KV-8 would be, he doesn't have enough anti-vehicle damage right now. He only has the Zis gun, and the Flame Hetzler is doing some good work. And that Zis gun is a little bit unreliable, to say the least. Ooh, Oberstdotson may be white. That could have been really bad. Stun and frag grenade was thrown, but looks like the shock troops will manage to skip on out. There's still a squad of conscripts here, which can do some good work versus the Sturm Pioneers, but against both of them, maybe not so much.
What's that flag? Infantry attacking in force!
Combat engineers, they only need really one window to be effective with that flamethrower.
Lumiers will never kill us all!
Panther out of the building, we will definitely need Su-85 to deal with the Panther and Hetzler.
Enemy forces are
And the
attempting to
Kubelwagen,
capture
can't
our
forget about the
territory.
Kubelwagen.
Ground strike may now be called in.
The combat engineer will manage to barely get
The
out of
enemy
there.
has cut off a sector.
This barrage is coming up forward. Where is that Flame Hessler? On the far side, and ready to engage this stuff. There is a second Maxim out in the field control. But he definitely needs an S-35 at this point. Or he doesn't, and completely ignore the Panther. That is a possibility. If you can somehow deal with a Flame Hessler more efficiently, then he doesn't have to worry about the Panther if he gets no vehicles out. S-35 is out in the field. So that point sort of null and void. He does have enough fuel for a ML-20, just needs more manpower. In which the ML-20 wouldn't be half bad versus all the support weapons, but it's just generally too inaccurate to be reliable.
Machine gun ready.
And plus, his opponent is Fear Storm, so he just needs a bit of munitions and call down off-map artillery on it.
Taking fire! Your predecessor died a hero.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Shock troops are running on forward, but it's definitely not a good engagement for them. He does throw a stun grenade there.
Relay orders.
And we do have the Zis gun hitting a couple pins on top of the Panther. There's still one Soviet mine there. Oh, Volk's Grenadiers ripping apart that conscript squad. He actually retreats both of them. That was a panic retreat. And he canceled the SU-85 and got the KV-8. I thought he was building an SU-85, but he's going to just try to be as tanky as possible and
Enemy
ignore the
forces are capturing
Panther.
our supplies.
In which I would say you will definitely need an SU-85 next, SU-76 if he needs a panic buy, or another Zis gun. He has plenty of fuel. He's more or less lacking manpower. By the time he gets enough manpower, he probably has enough fuel for an SU-85. And the S-35, and the KV-8 is quite resilient. We've got a Flame Hessler on this side of the map here. Could try parking towards the center of BP. As the Soviet players mostly focusing on the left and the center of the map, not so much on the right side of the map anymore. First, the cannon for shot does in fact bounce. And the Panther does roll a miss. Actually, the Panther could have been trying to put the conscripts because it doesn't have prioritized fire on. Ooh, one of the Maxims have been burned out. He's now going to push forward the Hessler, trying to get some good base burning. And there's some really low health units here. This guy could do some significant amount of damage. He's on a retreat point. He can't retreat.
Double your efforts.
Oh, one squad wipe.
Another infantry squad.
The other Maxim does in fact go down. These guys are outside the burn radius. Mortar team wipe. This is a very nasty Hessler right there. And he sort of more or less retreat back into the lingering flames. That shock troop may need to stick around and just heal up. Kukumagen could potentially get burned out. The tickets are heavily in favor of the OKW player, so the OKW player is still in a great position right now. If he was ever in a bad position, the OKW player has been playing a commanding game, that's for sure. Throws out a frag, both sides throw out a frag. Both of them were pretty good. And the Maxim not targeting properly on top of the Volksgrenadier.
Forces capturing supply sector.
Conscripts are going to rush their way forward. There is some the Flame Hessler making its way. Maxim here, very far out of position, will get ripped apart. Does throw a IL-2,
One of our machines
that
guns
IL-2
has
is
been silenced.
questionable. It was questionable targets. Like, sure, his Penwurfer's nice. The Kupwagen is nothing. No need to put an IL-2 into that. So that IL-2 was very questionable, I would say. Just low prior. The Penwurfer is important to remove, but the Kupwagen, no.
We are ready for any. HMG crew is ready. Okay, that's the last one.
We have fallen to 100 points. Do not let this trend continue.
Taking anti-personnel fire.
There's an M. No, that's the Olmsadasen. These guys are on a sort of attack move order. The shock troops need to
We are
advance.
losing supplies to the enemy.
Volksgrenadier are getting turned down a little bit. Could potentially throw a Faust into
Sector
it.
has been cut off.
And that is going to be a successful Faust. There's nothing in the air to really protect it. Does wipe out the Volksgrenadier from mortar. Zisgun is in the area, so Panther could pursue, but could die. The Panther's also not in great health standing. This Flame Hessler is going to be very important in order to burn out that Zisgun. Actually, is rolling fire away from the Panther. The Panther is actually super wounded. But the Zisgun could advance. Could see a conscript. He needs to get a conscript squad over here to snare the engine of the Panther and to shoot the Hessler as well. It looks like he's just going to withdraw. Can't risk any mines. He has spotted at least one mine a game. Maxim has been captured. MG-34 still alive. You can throw one of the MGs in this building. Be a great hard point to lock down. And that shock troop is very singed.
We are ready to go, comrades. Watch out, comrades.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
MG-34 and Maxim dueling once again. Notice that Maxim does get the kill on the gunner immediately, which actually is quite important. Now he got some free damage into cause suppression, and the mortar team is in the area, but we do got the Olmsdatsen now flanking, does force a retreat. He did recapture the point, which maybe all he really needs.
Enemy forces are neutralizing
The
the
captured
sector.
Maxim is in a very powerful position, able to suppress these conscripts trying to capture that EP. Going straight to the cutoff point, or and potentially can throw a frag on top of the Zisgun. Calls in the rocket artillery barrage, and that may be the end of the mortar team. The mortar team has not
Supply lines
retreated yet.
have been cut.
The first round, and there we go, and also gets the Zisgun, but that's actually terrific. Outright destroys the mortar, that's for sure. Again, we're first to force him back. T-30, this is a T-34. It's far from munitions from using the IL-2. But he may gets a pen there. He just needs one shot into the into the Flameheads to kill it. And oh, but the Panther's in the area. Does get actually a pen there. The Panther just straight up missed. They'll throw out a smoke grenade there. Gets trick hit on top of the Kubelwagen, who manages still to be alive. Panther does roll a pin on top of the AV-8. Zisgun is in the air, does roll a pin. The OKW play has quite a bit to it now. Could potentially go for mechanization too. manpower is a bit of an issue, so perhaps not investing in anything is probably a good idea just because he simply just can't afford anything. Worker does get hit there, and Hetzer does receive a hit.
Enemy fire!
Molotov is thrown, does get some good singeing, but does get suppressed right there. And actually self-capture, it was actually very close to being captured. Doesn't fully capture that point. I just decapture the fuel point right now. In which the fuel is not that important right now for the OKW player. Manpower is.
Su-85 tank destroyer ready.
Su-85 out on the field, that's very important. And getting another combat engineer, that's very much understandable. He needs the extra repairs. Frag grenade is thrown, but way off from that assist gun. Panther out on the field. Flame Hetzler hitting potentially the shock troops, doesn't hit the Maxim. The cannon worker is in the air, does get a pin on the Su-85. The Su-85 needs to back off. How much population? He could still potentially get a ML-20. An ML-20 or Katusha right now wouldn't be half bad. Give him some indirect fire to engage these cannon workers. And this map is actually quite small. ML-20 right here would be very accurate. Does get a pen right there. Su-85 does get a pen as well. Multiple pens on the Panther. And KV-8 here can still burn that Storm Pioneer squad. T-34 is still much alive. Could potentially run away unit capturing on the VP. Does capture the fuel point, but it's cut off. T-34 is making its advance.
Down to 75 points.
The cannon worker is getting a hit on the T-34 base, but there's of course snare of this squad. Flame Hetzler is in the area, and he's going to burn these squads. In fact, he's walking straight into the flames. The shock troop could potentially go down, as well as the Maxim. Does Ura Forge, he's trying to Molotov the cannon workers in order to clear the way for his other units, but a Flame Hetzler is just ripping them apart. He may actually lose that squad. Probably not. Does force fire the ground and rolls a miss. Panther's making his way forward. The Panther is fully repaired. Su-35 receiving multiple deadly hits. Just one more shot, and there goes Abandon. Really wish we could remove Abandonment. Does throw out a rocket artillery. I'm thinking maybe on the Su-35, not necessarily the T-34. Does destroy the Su-35, so accomplish 2 goals, displacing the engineers and destroy the Su-35. This gun is being destroyed, wiped out, and that's his last effective AT measure. T-34 does roll a miss there. And I think that's pretty much the end of the game. Su-35 is way out of position. The Panther can easily hunt it down now. Doesn't really have full much efficient presence. The T-34 is way too wounded. We will see a frag grenade on these. No, we don't. MG-34 Bet-3 suppress these squads quite easily. Panther hunting down the KV-8. KV-8's way out of position. T-34 is almost dead. He does have enough munitions for IL-2, so he could potentially ram and destroy the Panther with the IL-2. but we do see the IL-2 being
The
called in
enemy is
somewhere
about
over
to defeat
here.
us. We have only 10 points remaining.
Oh, it's a massive miss. And the VPs have ran up. This is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off. And I only lost 300 frames out of 120,000, so I think that's pretty good.